Welcome, wanderers. You know, you're probably wondering who's this because my husband's usually the one who's on the camera, but I'm Erin and we are thrilled to show you around our 1-bedroom deluxe mobility unit here at the Great Smoky Mountains Resort, and this is the one located in Sevierville on Collier Drive. So as you come in, we are on the second floor, which is the ground floor here in these units. There is a ramp out front as well as stairs. So when you come in, you'll see that there is seating for 4. This is typically what we have found in this property. This is what we usually find in a 1-bedroom deluxe or in a 2-bedroom when we've been here with the 2-bedroom. So here in the kitchen, because this is a mobility unit, it's going to have a lowered countertop, and some of the items that we are normally having accessible a little higher up are going to be lower. So your stovetop's going to be lower. You'll see that there's even like a light switch here on the side, and that is lowered as well. However, it doesn't really control anything, so I'm not sure what this light switch is going to be for. Some things that I kind of want to point out when having a mobility unit is that your microwave is on the counter instead of above the stove. That's something that's different in these units. Pet peeve of mine. So I've been in a wheelchair quite a few times in my life for different surgeries and different medical issues over time. So something that really bothers me about this unit is that it's not necessarily designed by someone who needs mobility access. Why your blue cups are above the stove if you're a mobility limited individual in a chair or on a walker or even on a rollator shouldn't be up here. Same thing with the glass Pyrex. They had all of that up top. It's not accessible if you are in a chair. Additionally, you'll see that over here with the glassware. They don't have things truly at level where someone who is needing mobility items located. That is a pet peeve of mine. So some things that you'll kind of see that kind of surprised me is you have one place that everything was kind of stored, which is all underneath. So all your bakeware and everything, you still have what you would find in your typical units. It's just lower. Now, if you are in a chair or on a rollator, can you get that? Yes, you can, but it's pretty far back, and that can be hard to get to if you are needing mobility access. We needed baking sheets yesterday. I couldn't find them. They were stored in the oven. The only person who I know who stores their bakeware in the oven is my mother. She doesn't watch us, thankfully. So those are little things where, hey, I wouldn't have designed it this way, but that's how it's set up. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of the unit. So over here we have the bathroom. The laundry facility is right here, typical of your Wyndham unit. There's a pocket door here to be able to shut. Now, the doorways are wider so that if you have a chair, you can get through. As you enter, there is a accessible shower. There is a slight lip where they have plastic here, and there is also a bench seat. This is gonna kick on the fan. There's a bench seat here that folds down. So this is nice to have it here, but here's a pet peeve being someone who has a mobility challenge. If you needed to transfer from your chair here, the only grab bar is here. That is difficult if you're someone who has mobility needs. The only other bar is all the way back there. Here's a design flaw. So if you are here on the bench, and here's all your controls, one shower head is all the way up there, so your water's coming out part of the shower. The other one here, you can at least take down and change to control here. But if you were able to kind of see where they have all the amenities, because when I'm switching to all these bottles on the wall, they're all the way over there. You have to kind of lean pretty far forward to get to them, which is fine. But again, if you're someone who has limited mobility or mobility challenges, that's hard. So getting up, again, I know my bad leg is this one. There's nothing to get yourself off of except for the bench itself. So those are kind of some design flaws. If you're truly needing something accessible, this really isn't as accessible as it could be. You have your standard toilet. Your sink has roll-up access where you can roll in underneath easily. But where are you storing all your toiletries? Where's the toilet paper? Where's the tissues? They weren't in here, so where's Wyndham keeping them? So that's gonna be in your second sink in the next room. This is not your accessible width design flaw. Underneath, there's my toiletries, but all the way in the back is where I found spare toilet paper and tissues earlier today when I was looking for them. So you still have your standard items in the 1-bedroom deluxe. You have your full-length mirror. You have your second sink. Not accessible because you can't roll underneath it. You have this soaker tub here, which is something that we kind of talk about, and you'll kind of see my Epsom salts are over there. That is something that really helps me. I have arthritis, so that helps greatly with my arthritis. But again, if you're thinking about accessibility, I'm now able to lift my leg and get in as someone who's done a lot of physical therapy. But this is your one bar to be able to get into the tub. This really isn't an accessible tub. Getting out of the tub, that's a challenge if you're truly having an accessible mobility soaker tub. So, design flaw. But appreciate the fact that it's still here because I like having that tub. You have your king size bed. You have lamps on both sides. They both have an outlet. There are not USB plugs in these outlets. However, they do have an alarm clock that does have USB ports. Some of the other properties we've been to have had USB plugins in the walls in different outlets. This resort does not. So we happen to be in building, I think, 28, which backs up to a fence and some greenery area. This is a quieter mobility unit. We've been in mobility units before. This is a quieter mobility unit. There's no one on either side because of where it's at in the building. You just have someone above you and below you. So that's kind of nice. You do have your closet. You also have your safe underneath, and you have your spare bedding for the couch bed because you still have the couch bed. You have your dresser with storage.
TV. Don't forget the bedroom TV. I need that. Very important item. One thing before we go, I do want to add is sometimes the TVs in these Wyndham units are closely stuck to the wall. I always hate that because I usually bring some of my own devices to hook up. The nice thing here is this one's on a swivel, so is the one in the living room we'll see, which made it very easy for me to get access to the plug-ins and plug in my own items to make it more home-like for what I want to watch when I go to sleep or during the daytime.
Yeah, and then as you come out, you still have a large swivel TV out here in the main area. The main area is accessible, as it should be. So there's clearly area where instead of having 2 armchairs, which they usually have in a deluxe, they have 1 armchair because there is potentially another mobile chair coming in. So they've already designed this space knowing that there's a chair needing to probably be there. Now what is missing is there's usually a separate end table here and a lamp in the corner. This unit doesn't have that, so I kind of noticed it was a little darker earlier today.
But I mean, we can get more light on them here.
Yeah, can get more light if we need it.
We didn't have that one on.
So you have your step out, slide out porch.
Come on, Bo.
This is difficult. Come here, Bo. Because you do have a lip here.
So you're saying this wouldn't really be that accessible?
No, because you're having to almost off-road it to get your device.
You get to pop
over.
wheels up over that.
Yeah. So if you're using a rollator or a walker, both of which I've used in my life at this point.
I think the rollator walker wouldn't be so bad, but if you're in a chair.
If you're in a chair, that can be hard.
Yeah.
And then if you're out here, you have room to be able to turn around. You have room to be able to sit. And honestly, you have kind of a nice view, given what it is.
Now I will say we are at a mountain resort. and we don't see any mountains.
Yep.
This
but
is not a mountain view.
No. And we've had other views of this property before, and we're not the type of owners who are going to complain and demand a different view versus looking over the air conditioning unit.
We are sometimes a little noise out here because there are at the bank of AC units, like she said. Here's the thing, and let me kind of put her back in frame so you can see a smile while I talk about this. Is if you go to any resort, let's say there's 100 units at that resort, just picking a number, and 50 of them look at the ocean, mountains, whatever, and 50 of them look at the parking lot. That means it's half the people are going to get a great view, half the people are going to get more of a
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to get the Don't let it ruin your vacation. Why let something so small derail you? There are certain resorts you can pay extra points to get the view you want. We'll be doing that in our next video and talking about that. But a lot of them like this, it's going to be just, what you get is what you get. And while we have this for review, I look at the benefits like she talked about. There is nobody to that side of us, and there is nobody to this side of us. And for me, that is a winner. I mean, there may be a room there, but there are balconies over there. So we do share a wall, but we're not sharing. We have privacy on their balcony. I take that over the view.
And then the final thing that I'll kind of add that Wyndham is doing is different properties, when you are traveling with a service animal, you declare them when you check in.
Service animal, right there.
They will give you something to put on your door. At Bonnet Creek, it was a hang tag.
Mm-hmm.
Here at the Smokies, it's just a
Now,
magnetic.
I want to make a point because on one of the forums that I am on, when we talked about Bonnet Creek giving a tag for the leash and a tag for the door, Bonnet Creek mandated that tag be supposed to be used at all times. So people were really upset about that because it does denote that you obviously have a service animal, which is, a medical device at the end of the day. And it's people like, well, HIPAA, and I don't know if that makes a difference. Me personally, I like having that because then anybody who sees me with my dog outside or whatever, they can see clearly that we've checked in, we've claimed the dog, it's supposed to be here. And so I like that because I feel like it just cleans up some of the drama. I will say this resort, we asked for that and they gave that to us. It was not required. So for those of you who do travel with an animal that's a service animal, because again, service animals aren't allowed here, if you don't want that door tag, it was not forced upon us. We chose to do that.
Yeah.
So I do want to be clear on that.
And that's something that we just asked for, and we denote it check-in when we arrive. We always check in and declare that we have a service animal traveling with us. Different resorts do different protocols. Some will write down the breed name and how old they are and what they look like. This resort we did not. So it just varies from resort to resort. And there we go. So this is a 1-bedroom mobility deluxe unit. So we will have some different units coming up in our next video. We'll have a 3-bedroom mobility coming up at Ocean Walk for an Ocean Walk property in a few months. So if you're curious to see what another mobility unit looks like in a different size, you'll be seeing that then. So thanks for wandering with us.